Hi, and thanks for tuning in to the Home Extension again. And today we have another special guest, and Casey Davenport from Best Buds. You saw him in the last episode, I think. And well, I know he looks like he's in the same clothes, but that's what he wears.
This is all I get to wear on a day-to-day basis. So
right,
you see me in.
And today now we're having Jeremy Woldt from Kitchen and Bath Remodeling here in Sun Prairie. And you know, I like to keep everything local. I like to promote the small business owners, you know, and I like to keep everything in town because it just helps promote business. And then when people are making money, then everybody's spending money within the town. So, Jeremy, it's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And have you met Casey?
Good to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, we work in the same town quite often, I hear, so I'm surprised we haven't bumped into each other more.
Right?
Right?
Right.
How many crews do you guys have out?
How many crews do we have out?
Yeah.
Well, it depends upon what we're doing, but typically there's 2 people per crew, and we have 17 people working, so.
Oh, wow.
However many
17 employees.
So, yes.
That's a big gig.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
Sometimes.
is that all just on the construction side, or does that also include like the office?
Office and construction total.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But we have out in the field, there's probably 5 crews per,
Wow.
at any given point going on.
So I take it like whoever's in a bad mood that week or whatever gets to do demo.
Yeah, right. Actually, most homeowners
You're
want,
on demo. They're like, can I do demo?
most homeowners want to do demo.
Right.
They
Since
love
they see
to grab a sledgehammer and punch a hole in a wall because they know they can't screw it up.
Right.
Right. Because
Yeah.
you guys are there to fix it.
Right.
Have homeowners found that you'll give them a better deal if they do their own demo? I mean, is that something that you can work out in a proposal for them?
We can, but typically you're going to get a better price just letting us do it because we can do it a lot quicker. And there is some strategic things you need to look out for before you just tear a wall down.
Wiring.
So the house, well, or you take out a header and the whole house falls down. That would be bad
Right.
too.
Take out your low bearing wall.
Right. So,
Or your
Yep.
soil stack.
well, yeah, that would be really bad. That would be a mess.
You're like, yeah, we shouldn't have did that.
Right.
It's going to cost you more now.
But we have homeowners that do try to do their own demo, and then
Right.
that actually, we got to come in and repair that because they've,
Fix more stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
so it ends up costing them more money in the long run.
Yeah.
So,
So generally, is it done by the job then instead of by the hour?
yeah, when we bid a project, we go through the whole remodel,
Right.
whatever we're going to do. Like right now, we're adding 2,000 square feet onto a house.
Wow.
So then I go in, and that takes about 4 to 5 months just planning and bidding to get all the pricing. But it's a locked price once
No
we get
kidding.
started. Yeah, and we guarantee our price.
Yep.
So once
Yep.
we give you a bid, it is what it is, unless you add on.
I
with
mean,
extras.
even if you run into problems.
Yeah, that's the risk I take. I stick my neck out, but remodeling is such that there's so many people out there that'll end up with get a number. I mean,
It's
you
an
probably
estimate.
Yeah,
It's an
you
estimate,
get
they'll call it.
Yeah, you
That's
get an
hard to deal
estimate,
with.
but unfortunately, there's always these clauses in those contracts
Right.
that lets people, the
Right.
contractor basically get out of it and say, well,
Right.
I didn't know this was going to happen or this is going to happen. Where
And that seems pretty shady.
yeah, where we do an extensive analysis of the current home to make sure we're not going to,
Yeah.
run into any surprises. So I have a thermal imaging camera so I can look through the wall
Yeah.
Right.
before I even tear it
Wow.
open. So I know where those pipes are, and I
serious.
know where the headers are, and I know what to
Yeah.
look out for. So, yeah, that's the one unique thing about us compared to anybody else out on the market is
Yeah.
we guarantee that price.
See, I think I'd
That's a
rather go
quote.
with you because then you're not going to mess stuff up just to make more money.
Right. I
You know,
hate-
like some mechanics will just.
You wonder about that every
Yeah, like
time.
my steering wheel was just fine. I don't know how come it falls off now.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
or
I think a lot of people run into
all
that
4 of your
with.
headlights are burnt out.
Right. You,
Yeah.
you hear the horror stories with
Oh, yeah.
any construction project,
Yeah.
landscape project,
Yeah.
mechanics. But if you've got a quote in your hand,
Yeah.
that is a said quote, not an estimate, you can be pretty confident that they're going to do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah, and our contracts are written the way they're written. By
Yeah.
law, we're supposed to give you a start date and a completion date.
Right.
And
Yeah.
we're following the whole process that the state of Wisconsin requires us to do. So we
Yeah.
are guaranteeing that price. Unless you say, oh, I want to add
Yeah.
a window here, obviously you knew that wasn't part of the deal. But
Oh, right.
So I like that idea. But have you found, and I'll ask you, would you wait 4 or 5 months for him to get a quote ready for you? I mean, have you found that this will deter clients from going, you know what, Joe Blow over here said he can do it like in a month and a half?
No, because right away when I walk in, we've been in business long enough that I know what it's going to roughly cost. So I can give you a rough estimate right off the bat. And if it's within your budget, then
we can
we
talk
go
further.
to the next price or the next process, and that's where we have a design retainer that you sign, because then we draw up the whole set of plans, because really,
Right.
when you're doing a project like that, you got to know what you're doing. So
Well, you know, I mean, you got to put in your spline lines and, you know, your drywall and your 4-inch walls, your 5-inch walls, your 6-inch walls. I mean, it's just your 5 and 6-inch walls.
Are you a construction guy?
No, No, I'm in the interior design program.
oh, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot.
so I mean, I know about like kitchen and bath and stuff like that.
And that's really nice. I mean,
But see,
that's
like,
the-
I would rather go with you because on some things you have to go with quality.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're doing Christmas decorations, go to the dollar store. Who cares? Throw them away.
Right.
You know, but like, if I'm putting in a new kitchen, I'm gonna like,
Trust.
Well, it's a big
yeah, I want it to be
investment.
sound.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a big investment, and that's the nice part about having our interior design department now is those.
Right.
The interior design department works with the client too, so then they're making all those selections, getting all this pricing put back together, so then it comes back to me, and then we can give a really good, accurate proposal.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because I mean, they can do like, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if you do all the way. You probably just do what, the cabinets and the bathroom. Do they do like the curtains and
yeah, we
the
are
flooring and
yep,
the mirrors and
window coverings and everything. So that's what we're getting into with all
Right.
of our new accounts. So we're selling couches and love seats and
Oh, wow.
exterior furniture too. So
You
we're-
should check out the website, Our House. I think I gave it to your
yes,
secretary.
you did.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. I just love that company because it's based out of Cincinnati, and it's made in America by Americans, and everything is like made old style, like dovetail, ducktail, you know, like glue, you know, like not screws.
Sturdy.
I mean, nothing against IKEA, but
It's called Our House.
yeah,
Dropping a
AURHAUS.
Dropping a plug for Our House. Where
Yeah, in Cincinnati.
somebody owes Michael big
Yeah.
time in a big way over here.
Right.
It'll be my address will be, or just the PO box will be in
You just send the check over
the
there.
credits. Any
So-
lump sum will do.
So I don't mean to blow your cover, but some people don't like people to use subs. So now you're doing interior design, selling things. Do you use drywall contractors, subs? Is this your own company doing the interior design? Are you doing all this stuff in-house now?
Yeah.
Or do you use other friends that you know?
Yeah, they just
No.
hired on 2 interior
Yeah,
designers.
Wow.
Nancy's been with us for about 2 years now already.
Fantastic.
Actually. And then Allison just came from UW-Madison.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we have an intern, Nikki, that's from Iowa State. So all these
Yeah.
schools are really good in interior design. So
Oh, you know, it's amazing like how much they know.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
coming a long
the
way.
way they can, really we can give you that HD TV experience where we can show you the before and after on the computer screen, give you the 3D renderings, and
Yeah, and
really we
doing-
just had another one where we're going to be doing a deck, and it's 1,000 square feet of a deck area, and
Yeah.
she wanted to know would the cable rail look better or the vertical rail look better, and we were
Right.
able to give her that rendering to look over their
Yeah.
swimming pool. And
Oh,
they
come on.
totally were able
Really?
to, yeah.
Did you put it in 2020 or
Yeah,
Revit?
that's SketchUp.
Oh yeah, SketchUp.
So
Yeah, because
SketchUp.
you can do 3D model. You can go right
Yeah.
through the walls and everything.
Yeah, it's amazing what we can do with those computers.
And then
like-
she probably does AutoCAD, and she can like just draw out the whole floor plans for you
Right.
and everything.
That's what Allison does a lot of. Like, so when we
Right.
do an addition, she'll drop the whole floor plan with the elevations,
Yeah.
working with me to make sure that it's going to fit. And once it gets to the field, the guys can build it. But
Right,
Wow.
and then you can just incorporate that right into SketchUp, follow your lines, and bring the walls up.
right. So back to that question.
Wow.
With the subs, depending upon the
awesome.
size of the
Or they're just
project,
taking your shirt off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
depending upon the size of the project, we would either our guys do all of we do our own tile, we do our own drywall,
Yep.
painting, everything else. But when we have a bigger project, we do bring subcontractors in to take care of the drywall,
Right.
and things like that. But I'd say 90% of the work is done by our employees employed
Yep.
by us. So,
That's
See,
fantastic.
that
People
makes-
prefer that.
yep,
I think.
absolutely, I agree.
Well, and then you can guarantee your work.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
You know, because
it's
like if
getting
something
done.
goes wrong, you're like you don't have to blame somebody else. You're like, well, I'll be right over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we can control. Well, even with Lance, you can control a lot more when it's your people,
Right.
than when you have so many different people coming in. Then it's a mess.
Yeah.
So,
See, and I always think it's nice, like, you know, when you go to a smaller business or whatever, like, even like the handyman here in town, I interviewed them, and that guy will come out on Christmas if your stove breaks down, or
That's-
for your furnace, or
I think that's the nice part about local businesses, small businesses.
Absolutely.
I still consider myself small potatoes.
right.
You're quite the growing business at 17 plus employees, but you would probably consider yourself to have that small town feel as well,
Yeah.
that family feel, where people, if they need to get a hold of you, they can.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my wife grew up here in Sun Prairie, so I mean,
Right.
there's a lot of those connections because that's how the business started was
Absolutely.
with her dad. And he's the Jennings, so
Right.
and we have a lot of history with the family in town. So
Absolutely. So how long ago did you guys start?
well, her dad started the business as Ralph's Remodeling back in the late '80s, early '90s.
That's a long time.
And then him and I went into business together in. Him and I joined forces in '97, so 18 years ago. So I've been in business for 18 years.
It's awesome.
So did you learn on the job also?
Well, yeah. I mean, I grew up in the trade. My dad was a mason. My grandpa was a carpenter. So I actually was in the carpenters union for a while.
Oh wow!
And then that's how I met my wife in Oshkosh actually because she was going to UWO, and then her dad obviously was a carpenter that owned a business, and we kind of.
When were you up there?
Pardon
like
me?
86, 82?
In
Oshkosh.
I lived in Oshkosh until when I moved down here in '97.
Oh wow! Because I used to go to the library bar.
Oh yeah,
And
that's gone.
And skeet
That's
across
gone.
from North Tower.
Yeah.
Because you'd run those skeet balls and
Yeah.
you'd print out all those tickets and get free drinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy tore those down.
Right. And then,
Jeremy's construction. It was his first project.
Right.
Out of
It was
college.
my first tear down.
He tore down these 2 buildings. That was his first goal.
My implosion.
No,
Well, yeah, and then the cosmetology school is right behind that bar. They lived across from North and South Scott.
Yep. No, you know the area.
What a small
quite well.
world.
I was up there for that snowball fight. Remember, it made the newspapers and all that
Well,
stuff.
that's why they switched. Well, now we're getting way off topic. But
Right,
That's why
but
they
anyway.
switched to St. Patrick's Day because they used to have huge riots where they tip cars over and start
Right.
couches on fire. So that's why they made UWO shut down during St. Patrick's
Right.
Day.
Wow.
I had a good time there.
So yeah, it's definitely. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Segue back in. So is most of your work now with your business? Do you guys remain in Sun Prairie mostly? I mean, do you guys go out all around surrounding areas?
Well, we'll go where our clients want us to go. I mean,
Yeah.
we have clients that own houses up in Monaco. We've gone up to Monaco and worked on houses up there.
Yeah.
We've gone to Eau Claire because we have commercial accounts too. We remodeled a lot of the Best Buy stores years ago, and then Journeys. We do a lot of work in malls, stuff like that too. So it's a with my commercial background, that's kind of where we got our foot in the door with that.
Right.
Because when I was in the commercial, I was building grocery stores and office buildings and hotels and stuff like that. So
wow.
I'm not afraid to take a look at it. And then our guys like it because it's something different. That's the joy of remodeling is fun because you never know what you're going to be doing.
It's not factory work.
Why
It's
don't
not
you
the
do something with
same
that?
thing.
Why don't you remodel that plaza behind, or resurface it or reface it behind McGovern's?
Oh,
That's bad,
That
right?
strip
On Main
mall?
Street right there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's where that bar is supposed to be going into, right?
Which one?
Right behind McGovern's restaurant or the hotel. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
McGovern's.
Yeah, that side, like where Century used to be and all that.
Yeah, there's a bar apparently going in the corner there.
I got to get on the chamber.
So
There
yeah.
you go. You're
I
completely
know.
out of the loop right now.
I
man.
don't know.
But we
anything.
in town we did.
You heard it
the,
here first.
From,
New bar.
from Michael or Jeremy, who's taking credit for
Right.
that? I don't know.
We only have 15 in Sun Prairie now. We need one more.
No kidding.
We're
Just
making
like-
them all
just
in
like
walking
pizza-
distance.
Just like pizza joints.
Just like pizza joints. I mean, they're everywhere in Sun Prairie now.
They're
It's
all going to be in
crazy.
walking distance now.
Yeah.
In commercial wise, and we did that right across from Quick Trip where We Energies used to be. It's Care Properties. We redid all that.
Oh.
So. And then,
Well, what else have you redone around town?
Well, that Chris Stevens' old dental business, we remodeled that whole thing. The Sunshine Supper, we donated everything to that remodel. I don't know if you have ever been in there, but
Where is that?
Sunshine Supper, it's right by the Sunshine Place. Right by where
Give me a street.
where that Wings and Things is going in now.
Oh, yeah, out on
Oh.
old school Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
On the
used to be
outside.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Out the backside of Main Street.
Right
Yep.
over there, that's where Sunshine Supper is, where they have those free meals every Monday night.
Oh, right.
And
right.
we completely remodeled that interior. We donated everything, all of our labor and material for that project.
Oh, wow.
And,
I'm going to go take pictures of that.
That turned out really nice. It helps out a lot of people in the community, and there's a lot of people
Right.
that know about it. So,
Good
Yeah,
for you
that's-
guys. That's a positive thing right there.
Right.
yeah, well, like I said, with Rachel, my wife, being from Sun Prairie, and
Yeah.
we definitely, we've been in business a long time in Sun Prairie, and
Yeah.
Sun Prairie's been good to me, and
Absolutely.
Right.
we want to keep giving back to Sun Prairie too as much
Yeah.
as we can. So
Yeah, it's not just about making a buck. But
No.
you really do got to give back to where you can. And
yeah, you live in the community and you want to help that community. I mean,
Yeah.
Sun Prairie's definitely growing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like crazy.
It's not a town anymore.
I know. It is like crazy out here.
I have the first original phone book from Sun Prairie.
Was it about this big?
Yeah, not even. It's hilarious. I should
page.
show you guys that. But the phone number was 5 for
Oh, come
so-and-so, or 6.
Really?
Yeah.
How funny is that?
So
And it was all handwritten.
it was actually typed on that one. But
Yeah.
That was
pretty neat.
that was Bernice's job.
Yeah.
Just write down everybody's phone number.
Bernice. That's right. That's some old lady. That's perfect. So you said you do some of the commercial game and some of the residential game. Which do you guys prefer?
Either. It's all fun for me. I
Yeah.
mean, I
It's
just
all
love,
different.
I just love construction. I mean,
Right.
I've grown up in it. I love it.
Yeah.
It's stressful. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
you know, construction
days.
is like the worst roller coaster you could have. I mean, 08 and 09 were horrendous
Yeah.
for the economy, and I think
Right.
everybody felt that. But
Yeah.
2007 is the year my father-in-law decided to retire, and that's the year that I bought him out of the business. And then
Oof. That hurts.
2008 hits, and we're 65% less in sales
Oh.
in a matter of 6 months. So.
Yeah, it's
Right.
hard.
But it was
You
you
made
gained
it
a lot of
through.
wisdom in a short amount of time. So it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what's nice too about like, working for yourself. Like I work for myself and he works for himself. Like we can crunch our numbers. Like,
If you have to.
Yeah.
If
I
you have
mean,
to.
I'm not gonna like miss out on, whatever, but
Yeah.
you can see. I mean, just to get the business or just to do what you gotta do or whatever,
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah, those 08 and 09 were tough. I mean, that was the first year I ever had to lay somebody off.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it?
Wow.
But you gotta do what you gotta do to stay in business too,
Right.
like you just said. So
Well, and I
Yeah.
think it's like really, I think it's awesome, like with HGTV and all that, like where, especially like, did you ever see that show, Love It or List It? Like just
Yeah.
by doing like a $30,000 remodel, it increases your property value by $60,000. And I think a lot of people were like, well, why don't we just remodel? And like take out a second and increase our mortgage by $100,000 or $100 or whatever.
well,
Right.
the remodeling
Or-
industry is definitely going to overtake the new home building industry. I mean, I think the statistics this year say the remodeling is supposed to do $280 to $300 billion nationwide
Wow.
in the U.S.
There you go, giddy up.
So it's yeah, right. But
Yeah.
it's definitely a big market, and we've been fortunate enough to have our business really start growing after that 08 and 09,
Right.
Yeah.
and then adding all these other features with the interior design department. So we truly want to be that one-stop shop where you can come in and
Right.
the remodeling is it's frustrating, and it's time consuming.
Yeah.
And if we can make it a little bit easier, that's what we're shooting
Right.
for
Yeah.
with the showroom that we have now, and we'll hopefully be in the next year opening up a new showroom. So
That's
once that
great.
happens, then people really be able to see what we can do.
That whole Century building.
What's
That's
that?
exciting.
The old Century
No,
building.
the whole thing.
No, we're gonna.
Yeah, it's a lot of square
'Cause
footage.
where we're at on the Commercial Ave, there's that old Marathon gas station on Main Street. That's what
Oh yeah.
we bought that, and we're tearing that down. And
Good
that's
for
where
you
we're
guys.
gonna put the new showroom. So
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you're right on Main Street.
yeah, and the city, the city of Sun Prairie has been so far fantastic helping me make this happen. So
Really?
Right.
yeah, they have definitely helped.
Not busting your chops on zoning and planning and
No, they really
board meetings, stuff like that.
they have gone over leaps and bounds with the Dane County and
Yeah.
Dane County, the DNR and everything to make
Yeah.
this happen. So
Right.
they've been helping me out.
Got
Well,
somebody on your
because
side.
like, are there old gas cans or gas tanks under there?
The tanks
that
have been
needs to be
out for
removed?
5 years actually.
Oh,
so
right.
that thing's just been vacant and just keeps going down and down and down.
Right. it looks-
We
well, yeah, they
actually-
don't want an eyesore.
Right, and we own the property right behind the Marathon station, so it just kind of made sense for us to connect the two.
What's behind there? A house?
Behind the
Is that South Street?
no, the Main Street and Commercial run parallel with each other.
Oh, right. Across from
So-
Milio's.
Right.
Right.
So that's where just down from Hanley's, because Hanley's that whole site sold, and there's a developer that's working on that right now too. So
Yeah.
big
Well,
property.
coming up.
what is your address down there so people could come down and see your showroom?
Current it's a 526 Commercial Ave, right down by the old high school, right across from. I think that's I don't know what district office that is across from us.
Right.
There's only a few of us down there. There's DeGallier Printing and us and Prairie Glass, and
Right.
that's pretty much it.
And at the very end is the car wash.
Yeah, right on the corner of Bird and Bird and Commercial. Yep.
So going back to that HGTV thing, that DIY,
Yep.
has that affected your business? the DIY network and that kind of TV reality thing is so big now. Do you have people call you up and go, I heard this and I saw this and I want that and it should only take? Does that play into your world at all? Being that everybody thinks they know something about it now because they saw it on a television show?
It absolutely does.
Yeah,
And,
how does that affect?
Well, I think some of it's an unrealistic, either the numbers that they shoot out there are unrealistic because they're getting a lot of that product for free and
Yeah.
Right, sponsors.
and the labor's free because these guys are doing it
Right.
for the TV. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
when they say it is only $20,000, in essence, if you're going to go have somebody else do it, it might be $40,000.
Right.
So
Yeah, and you can't remodel a house during a commercial break.
no.
So I thought some of this may affect people's perception of what is really going into a project that they want.
It does, but
And
I mean,
you have to come and educate them.
right, and it gives them, but it also helps on our end to get people thinking about what do you want to do with your house,
Right?
Because it's an investment that
Yeah.
you're going to recoup that investment,
Yeah.
and Remodeling Magazine has a great cost versus value report, so you can see,
Yeah.
what if I replace a window or replace a door, or replace my roof, adding on, what am I going to recover that first year of doing this? So some of these investments, you might only get 60% back of your
Right.
initial investment, but in 3 years you'll at least pay back your original investment.
Right.
But some of these you'll make 10% right off the bat.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think like the DIY segments or whatever like that for remodeling, I think it actually probably helps you because it kind of puts things into perspective of they already know like kind of what they want, and then they come to you and you're like God, and you're like yes and no.
It does. It does help.
No, you can't do that.
Right.
I mean,
You
that's
need that
the thing.
wall.
Well, if you're going into design, that's the biggest thing is trying to pull that out of people and how to
Right.
get that to happen. But
Yeah.
when we have people that'll take a picture of their TV and say,
Yeah.
"I want this,"
Beautiful.
Right.
that's
Mission accomplished.
awesome.
You're like okay, well,
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. But here's what it's going to take to get there.
So it's HGTV has helped, and
Yeah.
I'd say it's
Right.
helped more than it's hurt us for
Okay.
sure. But
Yeah.
it's like I said, the one is when they throw out these numbers, it's
Yeah.
not always realistic because you got to think they're all over the U.S. So
Right.
prices throughout the U.S. are different.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of
it's-
flux.
Right.
Well, I think
Yeah.
half of those are filmed in Canada.
Yeah.
So when they say $60,000, that's like $120,000 American money.
Right.
I don't
crazy.
know the equivalent, but
Either
Well,
way.
the dollar is
don't
more
quote me
than-
on that. I don't know.
That's either way.
The dollar is
Go
more,
to
that's
Canada
for
and get
sure.
rich if you haven't had a
But-
DUI.
It's weird because I love the shows, and I've done some remodeling, minor stuff with my brothers. One of our favorite things to do is come into a house, and tear walls out. Like you said, some of those are going to be supporting walls. You need to put headers in and that kind of thing.
Right.
But this is like the theme, right? I mean, if you're going to fix your old house, open it up.
Right. Yeah.
Is that kind of is that one of your biggest things? Is, hey, let's rip these walls out and make my kitchen brighter.
Absolutely.
Let's rip these walls out. How do we do that? Let's just tear it out with a sledgehammer, right?
Right.
And you have to educate again.
Yeah, and that's where we want to come in and shoot the house with a thermal imaging camera to really see where there's anything buried in the framing or plumbing. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but there's a lot of people that I'd say that's the biggest thing is everybody wants to have more open space.
Yeah.
A lot of these older colonial houses
Yeah.
all had small little rooms.
Very boxy, just like
Yeah.
this.
All
Yeah.
the little Cape Cods.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everybody wants to open them up, and then you got lower levels are becoming really popular, like they always have. Really, it's a nice rec space for everybody, especially with kids.
Right.
Send them down there. And,
Put the pool table and ping pong table
Yeah.
down there and let the kids watch a movie.
right.
You
Yeah.
know, I always feel kind of, like the brick houses that are here in town. I mean, I think they're so
fabulous
nice
ones.
and cute, but
Yeah.
if you want to remodel or knock out a wall, that brick will never match.
No, it's.
I know. It's hard to
difficult.
find.
Well, we just did one on Whitney Way where we actually had the stone custom made to match the stone on the rest of the house.
Oh, kind of like teeth.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And that was part of your 4 or 5 month bidding process where you come in and go, we'll make this happen for you, but I got to make some phone calls to my people and get
absolutely.
you the right brick and get you
Yeah.
the right price.
Right.
It's kind
And
of-
well, that's how we come back with an initial budget, and if
Yeah.
you're comfortable with that, that's where we bring all of our heating, electrical, plumbing, me and our interior designers all go out do a site visit to really,
Yeah.
Right.
hone in on what we're going to do.
So,
Yeah.
where do you get your cabinets from? And
We actually have our own distributorship of we sell showplace cabinets and we
Oh,
sell
really?
Haas cabinets. Yeah,
That's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
I
It's
heard
all
you
through.
mention that earlier.
yeah, everything comes through us, and then if there's anything custom, we can do that as well.
right,
So we are truly trying to become the one-stop shop for your home remodeling.
Well, because I know, like, even like when I was drawing up my house plans, you know, I'd use like filler strips.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you're doing them custom, you just do them right to.
Right. You can
But
do
it's
whatever
kind
you
of
want.
weird if you're off a half inch.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know, when I first started doing AutoCAD, you know, and like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I'm off a half inch here, half inch there, and I'm like, wow, I'm off 6 feet, like my wall, you know, like.
It makes a big difference.
Right,
But
that
you guys
fourth of
run
an
into the
inch
same
or.
problems. I
What's
mean,
that?
you guys run into the same problems.
Right.
You run into these things, and you have to custom build everything, right? I mean, this is what you do as professionals.
Well, that's where we have, like Dave in our office, he's like the cabinet guru, so he really handles everything with cabinets. So,
Yeah.
and when he gets in there, he's down to a 1/16 of an inch. So when
Yeah.
the guys get
Right.
to the field to install it, it should fit pretty well.
Now
Right.
you know who your new friend is. Every time Michael has a problem on his computer, he's gonna be calling
Yeah.
Jeremy. What's up, Jeremy? I gotta.
I'll just
I'm
go down
off here.
I'll just send it over to him because he has the program. I'll
Yeah,
just, like,
they can
fix
import it.
and send it
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
He's gonna be bugging you every day for little design interiors and tips. Like,
No, I'm actually pretty good. But well, yeah. Well, didn't that go quick? Was that painless?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So we're over, huh?
Yeah, well, pretty close. Once again, thanks Casey Davenport from Best Buds for coming in and co-hosting with me
Thanks for
today.
having me.
No problem. And Jeremy Woldt.
Yep.
It was great talking about Oshkosh and your company. And I can't wait till I see you remodel the whole town of Sun Prairie. Start with that mall strip over there behind McGovern's or that old hardware store. Turn that into something.
Give me the name and I'll give him a call. So
It'll be on my Facebook page.
He's gonna conquer the world.
So if you want to get a hold of Jeremy, I'm going to have that all posted on my Facebook page, and then it'll be at the end of the credits on here. Are you on Facebook or?
we have a company Facebook.
Okay,
Yes.
and do you know what your, well, just shout out your phone number real quick.
Phone number at the office is 837-6312.
There you go.
I think
Give
everybody
him a
wants your
call.
personal cell, though.
Right.
We'll throw that out there on public.
Well, I was wondering, the one thing I didn't get to was, do you come in and do like free estimates, or is there a charge for estimates?
Yeah, we come in and do the free estimate, basic, what we come in and give you an idea of what it's going to cost, and then,
Right.
then we move on to the next stage, which is a design retainer is what we call it.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
great.
That's
Yeah,
how it
I'll be
works.
referring you. I mean, because like if you get a set price and then you stick to that price,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because some people come in and they hammer one nail and you don't see them for a month. You know, you're like,
The
"Ah,
horror
where-"
stories.
or they rip
Bad
apart your house
business.
and you're like
Right.
cooking on a hot plate, or out of
Doing
a
dishes
coffee
in the
pot.
bathtub.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks for tuning in and make good decisions. How about that?
Sounds
Bye.
great.
Hi, and for the second part of the home extension, Barbie's going to be showing us, I actually don't even know, I wanted to be surprised this time. So Barbie, why don't you take it away and
All
show
right.
us what you're going to do.
All right. The segment that I did before this, I showed how to lay out collages of pictures on the wall so that they were in proportion to the size of the wall. So I had made all of these construction paper mats and frames like this. So then it was that they have no use after that, except there's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time to decorate a back bedroom that I want to be for like all my grandkids. So
Oh, right.
that's what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make some really cool things that go on the wall for
Right.
kids. All right. And they're gonna be part of the children, so it's actually that the kids get to be involved in the artwork that goes on the wall.
Oh.
So what we do at my house, and we all do it, is we all color. I grew up in a family that we color, and we color
Right.
with markers all the time. So for Easter last year, I invited my family over to color eggs, and here are all of the eggs that we colored.
Oh,
so
wow.
we colored eggs in a different way than the standard. So these are my mom and my sisters and my aunts that we all sat around the table and colored eggs.
Oh, I was
So-
going to say, wow, I'm like,
the cool part about it is that when you color, that kids get involved. The kids all sat around the table. The mom sat around the table, the aunts, the grandmas. There was conversation that included both little ones and big ones and grandmas. The guys, of course, didn't color. They weren't into it, but
I would have.
you would have.
I
That would
would.
be awesome.
I take everything on as a competition.
So what we're going to do today with these are we are going to make some unique things so that kids can color these, and then we're going to put ribbons on them, and we're going to suspend them from the wall with long vertical ribbons, and then we're going to put coloring pages on each of them so that the little girls and I have 6 grandchildren, 5 are girls.
Oh,
One's a
wow.
boy. So we color a lot of girly pictures around my house. So we're going to do some framing and matting of pictures, and then we're going to hang some ribbons on them, and then I'm going to show you how they look on a wall.
Okay.
So here are some pictures. Here's one that my granddaughter, Haley, colored. So I'm going to let you cut that out around that black frame.
Okay.
And then,
Did you want me to write her name on the back?
no, we'll
Right.
know it was Haley.
Okay.
I might have her, or I'll have her put her signature on there. I'm going to, while he's cutting that out, I'm going to take one of the mats and frames that I made, and I've already cut out a picture to go on it, and I'm going to rubber cement it. And rubber cement, I brought you my favorite rubber cement tool to show you, and rubber cement can be kind of messy, and it can get all over everything. But the wonderful thing about rubber cement is that it doesn't bubble up. When you glue, like if you use an Elmer or a children's glue, your picture's going to kind of be bubbly on the top. And when you use this kind of glue, it lays flat. So I'm taking this and I'm going to lay this right down here in the center of this mat. And I'm going to let it dry a little bit. And there is going to be some residue from my glue on here. And that's where I'm going to show you shortly what my favorite tool here is, and it is a rubber cement pickup tool. This one is all worn out, and I've had it for many years, so I thought I didn't want to bring it because it was going to be old and ugly, so I bought a new one. But I wanted to show you that I use it a lot, and it comes in really handy, and they're only like $3 or $4, and you'll use it all the time if you use rubber cement.
I actually need one of those because I did one of my foam cord presentations, and normally I was using like the dry mount paper, where you put it in the press. Mm-hmm. But I ran out, and I was like, oh, I can just rubber cement it real quick, and then a little bit got out, and I was like, and then I thought, oh, I'll just take an eraser, and
Yep.
I just had to throw the
Yep.
whole thing in the trash and start over.
Yep. So see my rubber cement here?
So if you find that missing, you know where it went.
Okay. You just go like so, and it picks up all of your dried rubber cement, and it collects on the outside of the eraser on your artwork.
So is there a certain way to clean these?
You can pull it off, but otherwise it just collects on itself. If you don't have a rubber cement pickup tool and you have rubber cement, you can just keep all of your old rubber cement, your dried rubber cement, and put it all together, make a little ball, and use that as your rubber cement pickup.
Oh, kind of like oil removes oil?
Mm-hmm. So here I'm picking up all of the residue from my glue, and one done.
Wow.
One partially done. This one, what I want you to do is I want you to, and these don't have to be exact, but I want you to cut me a mat, and then I want you to cut me a frame that goes on the outside, and then I'm going to glue that on.
Okay, like a mat? So like...
You're basically going to make me like...
Do I need to...
Like this.
So do I need to outline this?
No, here, you can just go, I'll just show you. I'll make one for you. All right, so there's that.
Yeah.
So I want it to be about so. So I go over here, and I come over here, and I want this to be about so big. And then I'm going to glue that on there. And then I'm going to glue that. I want a frame about so big. So you can take this and make a little tiny mark. And then you can cut me a piece to go around the outside.
Oh,
of it.
I thought you wanted it like the black one.
Well, not exactly.
Oh, okay.
A little different. So. So some of these are going to be completed so that you can see what the finished product looks like. And some of them are a work in progress, so I'm going to make them so that my grandkids can complete them. There is another trick to rubber cement. I'm gluing one side of the rubber cement, which means that when I'm laying it down on my paper, it's still workable. If I am really good and I want it to be really tight, I can glue with rubber cement onto the board that I'm gluing onto, and then I can also glue the back of my picture, and then once I set it down, it's glued. You're not gonna move it. All right, and then you're gonna go like so, and then cut a line off there so that I got a nice border on it.
Okay, this got a little crooked. I'll straighten this up.
And then I got some rubber cement there
Oh, I know.
to clean up. See, I don't know if you can see that from here, but there is rubber cement kind of around the edges. I'm going to clean that up. There. So I have 2 of these done. And I think that they'll look really pretty on the wall. I'm going to use, I may as well do this right now. I'm going to cut a hole like so. And cut a hole like so. And I'm not quite sure how this is going to work. There's probably a really good way to do this that would be clever and crafty, but I don't know what it is. All right. I'm going to go like so. Pass me a scissors.
Sure. Or even maybe if you use like smaller ribbon.
I thought of that too. I was going to make some of these more vertical and then just have this be a straight piece of ribbon like so.
Right.
And then have my pictures be like this on the wall. That was my intent.
Right.
But when I'm looking at that this picture is more of a horizontal picture, I have to figure out a way that it's going to make it look good and still.
Yeah. Well, and I think like too, if you hang it like backwards like that, you'd have to make sure that it's set just right so it doesn't tilt right or left.
So I would probably almost have to take and put a little stick pin or one of those little gum stuff that you put on the back of a picture to make it stay on the wall so it stays in place. You know, and the other part about doing this is that these are so inexpensive, and it's the kids' own art that gets to go up on the wall, and they're proud of it. And if it's a really pretty picture, these pictures, I love all these pictures. This is a beautiful butterfly, and they're so fun to color, and they're all over the internet that you can print out just coloring pages.
Right. You know, I do have glue dots.
You have glue dots? Well, the glue dots would work perfectly.
I love glue dots.
And then
I carry them with me. We don't know when you need a glue dot.
I know. That's just wise. I never knew anybody that did that before, though.
Oh, my friend Nikki Doyle, she clears glue dots with her too.
She does?
She's the one who turned me onto them. I never knew what a glue dot was. I'm like, a glue dot? I'm like, that's weird. But no, it comes on an adhesive piece of paper. You can get them at the dollar store for like, well, $1. The Dollar Tree is a true dollar store. But yeah, you just peel it off and you put it down, and then you can glue whatever you want on just a little piece of glue, and then it pulls right off.
So
Some are permanent, some are semi-permanent.
we will, take these down, and we will put up some of the new ones.
So do you want me to cut some more stuff?
I want you to make some frames for, where were some of these other pictures down here? Oh, right here. You can make a frame for this beautiful dress. And here's a dragon. And here's, let me see if I got some more. Oh. I had aha. This one. This would be beautiful.
Okay.
All right, we're going to frame that one. glue this. Oh, I wanted to put this up.
Oops. Cover that frame.
You know, I still might like to do this differently. I'm going to try this. Because I just think that this would be cool, hanging straight. Now, when I'm thinking about doing this, I'm thinking that these would be suspended all the way from the ceiling, and then your pictures can just be here and here and here and here and here, and you can get as colorful as you want. You can have any color combinations. You can just be eclectic and have it be multicolored. I'm going to set those right there. Here's our wonderful rubber cement. And you get to be a little bit sloppy with rubber cement because it picks up so easily. The one thing that you do want to do, though, is you want to put the lid back on the rubber cement, which is something that I get sloppy with. And then I'm going to center this.
Do you ever use like 2-way tape?
No, I have some, but I don't use it very frequently. All right. Go ahead. Oh, all right. Awesome.
Yeah, I'll manufacture them and you just hang them up.
You don't even have to do the whole thing, just put some on wherever. All right. I'm going to.
See, if I had my glue dots, I'd just put them in 4 corners and be done with it.
There it is. It's in my hand. All right, now I'm going to do this.
Kind of nicked her dress, but that's okay because it gets hidden. Let's see what it does. Tell me another difference.
Oh, I got something on here. I think I got something on my hands. Oh, I know what it is. It's the ink coming off of the picture. So I have to be careful. And this one, I think your glue dots would come in. Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, and then
pull that through.
you know, yeah, at school sometimes like we have to go so fast and we're like finishing up our projects. This one person, it's so funny. I mean, you know, she was working really hard and, you know, we're always like under a deadline and a crunch and all this stuff. Well, she got there and she was presenting her board, or the teacher was like showing her board and and everything just started sliding off.
Oh no.
Because she didn't have time to let the rubber cement dry. I giggled inside. I didn't giggle out.
2 down. There.
Yeah, so definitely photograph your work.
This picture is a pretty dress, and one of the things that's really fun with colored markers is, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but after you're all done coloring it, to let them go over them with glitter, you know, like there are markers that have glitter in the ends of them, so that then you can do some of the detailing on some of your colored pages with some sparkle. And then we'll hang this one. The other thing about this colored dress too is with something like this, there really wouldn't be anything wrong with printing out the same picture like 3 or 4 times and letting them color the same, making the same dress like 3 or 4 different color combinations, and that could actually be really pretty too. I've started to color with my little grandkids from the time that they are little, and I show them how you blend colors and how old markers are the best, because then you can blend the colors you know, when the ink is starting to wear out. So I spend a fair amount of time showing them how you can blend colors with some of the older markers. I also spend a fair amount of time telling them the significance of putting the lid back on the marker, the cap.
Right. Well, do you have any like tricks like to get markers out and stuff?
Buy the washable ones.
Yeah, but you know, where was I? I was just by my aunt's house. You know, in all of my aunts, I have like 8 aunts on my mother's side, and I think I have 3 or 4 aunts. Well, 3 aunts on the other side. I shouldn't do that. Yeah, 3 aunts on the other side, and they all know I do this. So every time I go up north, they've always got an idea for me. Well, my one aunt took Dawn vinegar and hydrogen peroxide, and she got out all this black magic marker off her floor.
Really?
Yeah.
Black magic marker is
I'm trying to think which one that was that told me that. My aunt.
All right.
Or no, it was Claire, the pastor's wife.
These are looking pretty cute. And they also look like a child gets to have...
Did I get that right, Claire? I hope so. I'll have to call after the show.
Gets to put their own touch on their own room. So I really like that thought about it too, that they're creating their own art and they're decorating their own room. This one will be a duplicate. So I'm going to just put this up here, because actually we could. There. Oh, this is sweet. I'm gonna go in about.
So, you know, like I know it's like, you know, like with your grandchildren being so creative, would you ever do like a chalkboard wall? You know, chalkboard wall paint so they could just color on it and just do whatever they wanted and be creative, or?
It would be wonderful, but I probably would not let them do that.
What about the garage? Is that where your husband is?
You know.
I mean, he doesn't live in there, but you know what I mean?
That's kind of a fun idea.
Yeah, and then they could just go outside and just draw on the walls. Then it's just, you know, erase it or wash it off or however you want. Just gotta do black first. You just have all this stuff in your head. So, do you ever do crafts with Mason?
Mason has me print out pictures of trucks.
Yeah,
So
he's all boy, isn't he?
He is all boy.
See, I would think of doing something like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do it.
You know, because she's weird.
Absolutely. Do it. And that would look great with this ribbon, so.
I don't want to get chastised for thinking outside the box. Yeah, actually this weekend I was up in Elkhart and my friend Christy, well, her husband was out of town, and when he was out of town, she decided she was going to she ripped apart the whole kitchen, ripped out the drywall, put the refrigerator, the stove, the microwave all in the living room, and well, it's been like that for like 4 or 5 months, you know, because he came home, she was just about to hire contractors, but then he said he could do it. Well, and I don't know, ladies, you know how that goes sometimes, like, oh yeah, well, I can do that, and then all of a sudden you're left with that kitchen for 5 years. So I went up there just to help her put it all back together, and it took us like 6 hours to reclaim her kitchen. I mean, it was a tool shed, it was a Barbie doll house, it was a closet. I'm like, wow. But anyway, but it was really fun, you know. I mean, we barely talked, and we pretty much just sat there and just cranked the tunes and had a good time. I like going to her house because she's up for anything, you know. And then the other day, I was driving past somewhere, or I saw it somewhere, where you take a chain from your rain gutter, and you drop it down, and take off the drain spout, and you hook it up, and then the water from the rain follows it down into our rain barrel.
Oh,
because
water chain, yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah,
I'm like, how come
yep.
her
Yep, I've seen them.
Yeah, her drain spout kept on falling off, and then she was going inside to water her plants all the time to get water. Because, long story short, the hose outside, or the hookup outside, they had it shut off, and then they wanted to put a different valve on. Well, the city told them they needed a plumber to do that. She's like, well, we know how to do that. She's pretty stubborn about that kind of stuff, so she's like, I'll just water them from my house. So now she is in love with me because I got her a rain barrel, Yeah, she's like, I use it every day because it was the best thing happened. Otherwise, she's running water through the house and it's dripping everywhere. Anyway, but yeah, she's a total blast. All right.
I think we are making really good progress here. We have some really pretty ones up.
Gosh, this half hour went fast.
Is it? Is it up?
Yeah, pretty
All
close.
right.
I think we have like 5 minutes.
Okay, then we will just get these up on the wall. Look at our mess.
Oh,
No worries?
creative people are messy.
All right, I love that.
See, I'm more contemporary actually though, but I like more straight lines. But no, this is fabulous though. I think this is an awesome idea. That's gonna look beautiful. I can't wait to see it. You know what we should do? Next time I'm out there, or if you want to, you know, photograph it, and then we'll show what it looked like
Okay.
on the kids' walls.
Okay.
That'll be really exciting. You know, and then we could also take some pictures of like your walls, like how you framed them, or you know, how you did your pictures. I'm really excited. I really want you to do that segment on black and white photos. Because you found those black and white photos and you were going to reframe them or something.
Oh, that's right, I did. I am going to do that.
See, Barbie, you're so creative. You have so many ideas going on.
I do.
We could just tape right around the clock.
Oops, I don't want that one over there, but I wanted to see what it was like. So I'm going to scooch this over here on the side there. That should have been a longer ribbon, but you get the idea. All right.
See?
There. And that is stunning. Let's just pin that up.
Let's just pin that up.
There.
I would like that. Did you color that?
I don't think so. I think my oldest granddaughter did actually. She's
Oh, I like her.
16 or 17.
Yeah.
16 or she just turned 17.
Yeah, she goes to school in DeForest, right?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Voila.
Ta-da!
I think that looks awesome. Hanging things with ribbons. I think that's a really nice idea.
And the kids got to do their own. It's all about their own art. And it makes their art look pretty. So regardless of even if it's a juvenile that has done some scribbling, as long as it's framed and matted and got some pretty ribbon with it, it looks really, really striking.
But you know, and then
So-
years to come, you can just take the ribbon, wrap it up, and give it to them a Christmas present like 30 years from now.
Actually, you could send it to them for a Christmas card or a
Right.
birthday card. That would be really cool, too.
Or actually, birthday cards made, or you know, make different cards out of them
And
for
you
them.
can you could take this and send it to them undone and let them color them and put them up on their own wall. So Just
There
some
you go.
really fun ideas to do with coloring.
Great.
We love to color.
Well, thank you again, Barbie.
All right.
Let me give you a hug.
All right. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks, and then next time we will be doing more fabulous things. I hope she does the black and whites. I can't promise because I don't know. But yeah, give this a try at home. I think this is wonderful. I think the other day when we did picture framing, I think that was really insightful and giving us ideas on how to hang pictures. And I guess Barbie was telling me later after the show that you can actually go online and find websites that show you some of those different ideas of like hanging pictures. So thanks for tuning in to the Home Extension. I'm Mike Michael, Barbie McKittrick, right?
Close. McKittrick.
McKittrick. I'll just call her Barbie. And thanks. Tune in next time and make good decisions. Have a great week.